Hey, real moment here. When I first heard how live the sound could feel, it hit me that I'd been moving forward with mediocre audio for way too long. Signa S2. This is for the person who notices when dialogue feels flat, who hears when music lacks depth, who sat through scenes that looked amazing on screen but felt lifeless through the speakers. Before we go deeper, check the current price and stock, because simple, killer sound upgrades like this don't linger quietly once people actually compare. You knew it was time to upgrade when you started cranking your old setup just to catch voices and still felt like something was missing. When movies didn't pull you in, and you found your attention drifting because the sound just wasn't matching the visuals. That silence of disappointment? That's the moment you knew you'd outgrown compromise. And the first time this soundbar filled the room? It wasn't about blasting volume. It was about presence. VoiceAdjust made dialogue sharp and focused so you didn't chase clarity with the remote every few minutes. The wireless subwoofer gave real weight without wrestling with cables. Suddenly you were locked into the experience instead of struggling to keep up with it. Picture this: you sit down for movie night and every word lands where it belongs, not buried. Games feel more intentional because footsteps and cues carry direction and depth instead of blur. Even music stops sounding like background noise and starts sounding like something you choose to listen to because it feels complete. While you're imagining that, go take another look at pricing. Waiting tends to mean awkward price swings or stock disappearing, and that delayed decision usually turns into a regret you feel every time a big scene falls flat through your old gear. If a part of you wonders whether an audio upgrade really matters, let me reframe that thought. This isn't about arbitrary wattage or flashy specs. It's about finally matching what you hear to what you expect when you sit down to watch, play, or listen. Once you've experienced focused, clean sound with real sub-presence, anything weaker starts to feel thin and distant instead of engaging. Here's the part that surprised me: you stop adjusting settings mid-scene. You just listen. You don't wrestle with bass knobs, you don't hunt for clarity, you just experience the moment as it was meant to land. That shift from chasing performance to just having it? That's powerful. You hear dialogue with confidence. You feel bass without distortion. You relax into every scene. You stop wrangling with settings. You feel your setup finally matches your space. The only real downsides are that older gear feels noticeably weak, and once you've heard this level of clarity, anything less starts to sound like compromise rather than choice. At some point, endless comparisons just wear you down. You already know the feeling you want when you hit play. Don't let this be the upgrade you put off and then think about every time something big happens on screen and your sound lets you down. If you're ready to actually hear what you've been missing and finally align the audio with the rest of your setup, check the availability now and make the choice that feels right. Once you do, you'll wonder why you waited.